and speak to the political journalist Jo Phillips. Jo, how much have you been watching, and what's really stuck in your mind from what you've seen?
Well, like everybody, I've been pretty much glued to the radio and the television throughout the morning, and I just what struck me looking at the pictures that we're seeing now is this extraordinary procession through the English countryside. You know, green fields, hedgerows, where people presumably, might go out on a Sunday looking for blackberries, go for a picnic, go for a walk. And it's that contrast, as Sarah was just saying. You do get the sense that this was the Queen's home, although she loved Sandringham and Balmoral, of course, in Scotland, where she died. But this country estate, she was at heart a countrywoman. And I think this is a wonderful contrast to what we saw in London this morning. I mean, the weather has been absolutely astonishing. The pageantry, the performance, the ceremonial has been absolutely peerless. And I think everybody involved really should take a huge pat on the back for the organisation to make this happen. You and I know very well that the security will have been absolutely astonishing given the number of world leaders, prime ministers, presidents, monarchs, not to mention our own royal family. But it's been very unobtrusive. And the other thing that I think has been very noticeable, and Sarah was just alluding to that, you could hear the sort of excited crowds behind her while she was talking to you. But the silence in London as the hearse made its way to the Abbey and then out again up to Buckingham Palace. And I think that, you asked me what I sort of take from it, and I think it's dignity, actually.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. If there was one particular word that someone might choose to describe Queen Elizabeth II's life, dignity would certainly feature very highly among them. In terms of the rest of the country, Jo, you're there in the UK, we're here in Turkey. It's a national holiday. Have you picked up any sense about what's happening in the rest of the United Kingdom away from the location of the funeral or away from Windsor right now in terms of how people have been living the day?
Well, what we know from reports around the country is that the roads are virtually deserted. Most of the shops are closed. Leisure centres, many schools have closed for the day. And there is almost an eerie quiet. I think when the cortege reached Buckingham Palace and started off on this procession to Windsor, I think there was a bit of a flurry of activity. But there is a sense of quietness, and there is also a sense of it's a strange thing, really. It's a sort of a community, although it's behind closed doors, because for people who aren't lining the streets or who haven't been camping out, I spoke to an elderly lady last week, and she said, no, I just want to be at home. I just want to watch this and think and contemplate. And I think, many people will be doing just that. It's not, of course, it's a celebration of the Queen's life, but it's more reflective. And I think that is the sense that one is getting. And interestingly, I mean, France is streaming this live on its national TV channels. It's being broadcast around the world to billions of people. It will be the biggest ever television event that has ever been taken place, really.